Okay, so I noticed that some of you is getting sleepy, so do I. So I want everyone to just stretch out their hands like this. Come on, everyone. And then I have a question. If you have an iPhone, raise both of your hands. If you don't, take it down. Okay, everyone can take it down now. Approximately 80% of you have an iPhone, which means that 80% of you have access to the function Siri. Let me tell you something that shocks me. There is 70% more likely chance that Siri responds and recognizes your voice if you're male compared to female. Siri knows the solution and has the answer to most of men's problems, even when it's about erection. But she had no answer when a woman said that she had been raped, which 1 of 10 women report that they have. It took Apple 5 years to change this. What has not changed, though, is representation of finding solutions for women's problems by women. Not necessarily because men don't include us, but rather because girls tend opt out of studies in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also called STEM. One of the main reasons why it is a lack of girls in the technological field is because research shows that when girls reach a certain age, often at the age of 12, they begin to doubt their abilities in succeeding in STEM careers, where boys are more likely to believe the opposite, which is remarkable considering that most girls tend to do better in school compared to boys. Lack of girls in the technological field might therefore not be a biological thing, but rather a social structure one. We are teaching young boys and girls from a very early age what kind of job it is expected of them. That is through negative stereotypes, lack of good role models, discouragements, environments in science in both college and universities, and the fear of competing in a man-dominated industry. My name is Farhat Fazli. I'm 24 years old and currently working as Technical Structure Manager for OPAK AS. And for the next couple of minutes, I talk about why I choose to become an engineer and why I believe it is completely necessary to include more girls in that field. When I was 7 or 8 years old, my family and we immigrated from my home country to Norway, where we were located in a small village called Valdres. And my first years in Valdres were rough. I mean, I couldn't understand the culture, I didn't understand the language, and I most definitely didn't have any friends. As a little girl, I had been deprived all of my confidence. But luckily, we got a stationary computer at home, and this became my bait. I slowly started to invite classmates over to play with it, and despite the language barriers, we all started to build a friendship, which was through the language of curiosity and playfulness in front of the screen. A couple of years later, my family and we moved to Oslo, where my new school was located in the eastern part of Oslo, and approximately 90% of my peers had an immigrant background. Our shared experience and endurance through the challenging navigation in unfamiliar worlds made me feel at home. We had all learned to seek alternative tools for empowerment. We have all learned to regain our voices and rediscover our confidence. The same experience that unites women who had been oppressed, immigrants who have been left out, and marginalized groups who had been denied access to opportunities. Fortunately, these experiences also bring out the same instincts to seek solutions. One of the main reasons why I wanted to become an engineer myself was because I dreamt of making a change. I remember when I was younger, I wanted to become a journalist. I wanted to travel back to my home country, Afghanistan, and I wanted to use my cultural background, my experiences, my language, and my history to write about what happened there. And somehow would that make a change. But during my gap year after high school, I realized that there are so many ways you can make that change. I became interested in global warming and sustainable development, and that's why I decided to study energy and environment and construction. Another main reason I wanted to become an engineer was because I wanted to make a difference in that field. Because you see, in the engineering field, especially in construction, there are so few girls. And I wanted to make a difference to show that I, as a girl who is spending too much time on my makeup, my hair, my dress, watching too many episodes of the Kardashians, can still do that and still become an engineer. The point is really that you can have so many diverse interests and become completely something different. That one should not allow anyone to tell you what you as a girl can and can't achieve. Starting university, I was again met with the harsh reality of underrepresentation, as expected. Among 80 engineering students, less than 15 were girls. Why is that especially girls feel incapable, fall victims of stereotypes and lack of good role models that deserve the odds What do? Lack of good role models. That serve the odds and serve as aspiring and encouraging examples. Without fair representation in shaping tomorrow's technology, how is it supposed to serve its full potential and empower someone the way it empowered me? Young girls and confidence and opportunities to study STEM was a passion within me that came to life once I became an engineering student myself. I was involved in Girls in Technology group at university, but I quickly realized that I needed to reach out to the younger generation. In 2018, I had the chance to represent Norwegian Girls in STEM at NASA. And apart from being an inspiring experience, it also became an important platform to create more space for girls like myself. I have since had the opportunity to speak to young girls through tours, speeches, and now with my own foundation, Hennes Utdanningsnettverk, with the purpose to encourage young girls to pursue a career in STEM. I want to change today's reality with only 24% of all engineers being female and 96% of all tech-up startups being owned by men. But why is that important? Why can't we just let men do all the engineering jobs? I will give you two main reasons, but I can assure you there are so many more. Number one, diversity. Diversity in both college, universities, and working place benefits everyone. It fosters mutual respect, and research also shows that when there are dynamic in a working place, the business thrive more. Number two, most jobs in the future will require some or more knowledge for technology. Either you're going to work as a hairdresser, at a supermarket, as a teacher, as an engineer, you name it. You have to have some or more knowledge for technology. It is therefore our responsibility as today's society to make sure that the next generation of girls know what's expected of them and make them prepared for that. Because after all, they are representing 50% of the population. Fortunately, the number of female engineering students have been increasing the last couple of years. Yet, we have a long way to go to achieve equality. For me and many others, technology gives you insight to space where no space was made out for you. It gives you, it empowers you, it shifts your way of thinking, and it definitely shifts our way of behavior. Technology has today become not only part of our daily lives, but also a part of our common culture and language. And to solve our future social, economic, environmental problems facing us through science and technology, we need both boys and girls to speak the same language. Thank you.